Hare
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 Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Monday. It is 12th of August. It's Shravana Masa or Sridhara Masa, Shukla Paksham, and Ashtami Tithi. So there are no extra events in the calendar. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, your Lord Brahma speaking to Narada Muni about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, in the last verse, after glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that no one can understand him fully. So, after saying that, so by his the primary expansion as Karnodaksaya Vishnu, so he expands for the creation of entire cosmos, the material for the creation, maintenance, and destruction. स एषाब्जः पुरुषः कल्पे कल्पे सृजत्यजः आत्मा आत्मनि आत्मन आत्मानं स संयच्छति पाति च स संयच्छति पाति च. So srijati samyachati paticha. So for the creation and then annihilation, paticha and maintenance. So the Lord expands himself in the kalpe kalpe sujatajaha. So in the every millennium for the creation and maintenance and destruction. So after saying that, Brahma is saying about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, though he is creating this universes. He is completely purified, completely pure. He is not contaminated by the three material modes of nature. And he is the full of knowledge. And he is in complete fullness. And he is absolute truth. And he is the one who doesn't have beginning and end. He is completely no material modes of. He is not having any material qualities, all spiritual qualities. And he is eternal without any rival. So likewise, Brahma is saying to Narada Muni, and whoever is completely, whose senses are completely purified, they only can understand. But if anyone tries to understand by their mental speculations, then immediately the Lord will disappear from their sight. So likewise, Brahma is saying. So that means what it means to us. So we should not use our intelligence, the material intelligence or mental speculations. So we have to accept it as it is from the scriptures. Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. Bhagavan Shabda Brahma. When we are accepting as it is from the scriptures, then we can see him as he is, and also with completely purified senses. So Brahma is saying to Narada Muni, one should not use his mental speculations or untenable arguments. So likewise, Brahma is saying we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 6, and verse number 40 and 41. विशुद्धं केवलं ज्ञानं प्रत्यक् सम्यग् अवस्थितं सत्यं पूर्णम् अनाद्यन्तं निर्गुणं नित्यम् अद्भयं पुरुषे विदन्ति मुनयः प्रशान्तात्मेन्द्रियाशयाः यदा तद्येव असत्तर्कैः तिरोदीयेत विप्लुतम् विशुद्धं केवलं ज्ञानं Vishuddham is the completely without any material tinge, completely pure, pure goodness, without any material tinge. Vishuddham Kevalam, it is the pure and perfect. Jnanam, the knowledge. Pratyak Samyag Avastitam. Pratyak, he is all pervading. Samyag Avastitam, he is situated in fullness. Satyam, and he is the truth. Purnam, he is the absolute completeness. Purnam, Anadyantam, Anadyantam. Anadi means without any beginning. Anadyantam, without any beginning. Antam also without any end. Anadyantam, without beginning, without end. Nirgunam is the devoid of material modes. Nirgunam. And Nityam is the eternal. Adbhayam, without any rival. So the these are the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rushe Vidanti Munayaha, O Rushe, O Narada Muni, O Narada Rishi, Vidanti Munayaha, and Vidanti Munayaha, the great thinkers or great sages, they understand Prashanta Atmendriya Asayaha, whenever they are in completely purified, whenever they are completely purified from the senses. This is Prashanta Atma Indriya Asayaha. Whenever the senses are completely purified from the material entanglement, then they can understand. Yada tadyeva asattarkaihi. So he is understand yada tadyeva. Certainly he will be understand by the great sages when his senses are purified. Otherwise, asattarkaihi tirodiyeta. Asattarkaihi, untenable arguments. Asattarkaihi. Asattarkaihi. So these are the untenable arguments. And tirodiyeta viplutam. And he will be disappeared from the sight. Likewise, tirodhiyeta. He disappears from our sight. Viplutam, distorted. So one should not be having mental speculations. Our senses are not pure. So today we may having thinking one kind of intelligence, but tomorrow that intelligence gradually it will be degraded. The capacity will be gradually declined. Though one thing that he is capable, but the time it will take out the energy of the senses. So that material thing, that is the material nature. So one has to accept everything from the scriptures as it is. So likewise, Brahma is saying, Vishuddham Kevalam Dhyanam Pratyak Samyag Avasthitam Satyam Purnam Anadhyantam Nirgunam Nityam Advayam Rushe Vidanti Munayaha Prashanta Atmendriyasayaha Yada Tadyeva Asattarkaihi Tirodhiyeta Viplutam. So translation for this verse, the personality of Godhead is pure, being free from all contaminations of material tinges. He is the absolute truth and embodiment of full and perfect knowledge. He is all-pervading, without beginning or end, and without rival. O Narada, O great sage, the great thinkers can know him when completely freed from all material hankerings and when sheltered under undisturbed conditions of the senses. Otherwise, by untenable arguments, all is distorted and the Lord disappears from our sight. And purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can you request any devotees to read this purport, please? Any voluntary devotees?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Here is an estimation of the Lord from his transcendental activities in the temporary material creation. Mayavada philosophy tries to designate the Lord as contaminated by the material body when he accepts from forms of incarnations. This sort of interpretation is completely denied herein by the explanation that the Lord's position is pure and unalloyed in all circumstances. According to the Mayavad philosophy, the spirit soul were covered by nuisances is designed as jiva. But when freed from such ignorance and nuisances, he merges in the impersonal existence of the absolute truth. But here it is said that the Lord is externally the symbol of full perfect knowledge. This is his speciality, perpetual freedom from all material contaminations. This distinguish that the Lord from individual common living entities who have the aptitude of being subordinated by nuisance and thus becoming materially designated. In the Vedas, it is said that the Lord is Vijnanamanandam, but Vijnanamanandam, full of bliss and knowledge. The conditioned soul are never to be compared to him because such individual souls have the tendency to become contaminated. Although after liberation, the living entity can become one with the same quality of existence as the Lord. His very tendency to become contaminated, which the Lord never has, make the individual living entity different from the Lord. In the Vedas, it is said, Sudham apada vidaham. The individual Atma becomes polluted by sin, but the Lord is never contaminated by sin. The Lord is compared to the powerful sun. The sun is never contaminated by anything infectious because it is powerful. On the contrary, infected things are sterilized by the ray of the sun. Similarly, the Lord is never contaminated by sins. On the contrary, the sinful living entity becomes sterilized by contact with the Lord. This means that the Lord is also all-pervading like the sun. And as such, the word pratek is used to this verse. Nothing is excluded from the expansions of Lord's potency. The Lord is within everything, and He is all covering also, without being disturbed by the activities of the individual soul. He is therefore infinite, and living entities are infinitesimal. So infinitesimal. In the Vedas, it is said that only Lord alone exists, and all other existence depends on Him. He is the generating reservoir for everyone's existence, everyone's existential capacity. He is the supreme truth of all other categorical truth. He is the source of everyone's opulence, and therefore no one can equal him in opulences. Being full of all opulences, namely wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, certainly he is the Supreme Person. And because he is a person, he has many personal qualities, although he is transcendental to the material modes. We have already discussed the statements itaham bhuta guna. His transcendental qualities are so attractive that even the liberated soul, Atmamaras, are also attracted by them. Although possessed of all personal qualities, he is nevertheless omnipotent. Therefore, personally, he has nothing to do, or everything is being carried out by his omnipotent energies. This is confirmed by the Vedic mantras Parayasya Shaktir Vividhavi Shurayate Sarvabhakti Chanavala Karayacha. This suggests his specific spiritual form, which can never be experienced by material senses. He can see only the sense are purified by devotional services. Yam ivasa ventu tena lavaya. As such, there are basic difference between the Lord and the living entities in so many respects. No one can be compared to the Lord. As the Vedas declare, Ekaham iva datam Brahma davitat vi biham vavate. The Lord has no comparison. The Lord has no competitor, and he has nothing to fear from any other being, nor can anyone be equal to him. Although he is the root of all other beings, there are basic differences between him and the other beings. Otherwise, there would have been no necessity for statement in the previous verse that no one can know him 100% as he is, na yam vidita tadvisa, that no one can fully understand him in is explained also in this verse. But the qualification for understanding to some degree is mentioned here. Only the prasantas, or the unalloyed devotees of the Lord, can know him to a greater extent. The reason is that the devotees have no demand in their lives but to obedient servant of the Lord, while all others, namely the empiric philosophers, the mystic and the fruitative workers, all basically have some demand. As such, they cannot be specified. The fruitative worker wants rewards for his work. The mystic wants some perfection of life. The empiric philosopher wants to merge in the existence of the Lord somehow or other. As long as there is a demand for sense gratifications, there is no chance for perfections. On the contrary, by unnecessary dry speculative arguments, the whole matter become distorted, and thus the Lord moves still farther away from our understanding. The dry speculator, however, because of their following of principles of austerity and penances can have knowledge of the impersonal features of the Lord. So, of the Lord to some extent, but there is no chance of their understanding his ultimate form of Govinda, because only the Amala, Amolatatnas, the completely senseless person, can accept pure devotional service to the Lord, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.28. Isam tat atta gatam param janam purna karmanam tat dadva moha mirkutma bhajanante nam datta varta. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry for wrong in pronunciation, Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very nicely read. It is a long purport. So Prabhupada is explaining all the qualities of the Lord and his activities. The estimation, going in a brief way. So here, Mayavada philosophy means it is coming from the Vedic scriptures. So Vedic scriptures, we need to take it as it is, but they derived something. And here Bhagavad Gita is the Vedic scripture. It is a Gita Upanishad, and it is the universal literature. But people give the misinterpretation, and when the translations are very perfect. So this is by deriding and giving the mental speculated meanings to the Upanishads. So here Mayavada philosophy tries to designate the Lord as contaminated by the material body when he accepts the forms of incarnation. This sort of interpolation is completely denied herein by the explanation of that Lord's position is pure and unalloyed in all circumstances. This is Tadjeva Atarkaihi. Tadjeva Asat Tarkaihi. It is the Asat is the false, Tarkaihi is the arguments, false arguments. Here when Krishna says, I appear in this material world, Sambhavami Atmamaya, by my internal potency. Name karma paleshpraha, and I do not have any attachment to these material things. I'm not here for the sense gratification. So yada yada hi dharmasya glanidbhavati bharata abhyudharam tadatmanam sujamyaham. So for that purpose, he comes paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatushkrutam dharma samsthapanadhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. For that purpose, he comes. And when he comes, he is not attached to anything in this material world. He is completely nirguna. He is in the Vishuddham Kevalam Jnanam Pratyak Samyak Avasthitam Satyam Purnam Anadhyantam Nirgunam Nityam Advayam. So this is, but here Mayavada philosophers, they give in a different way. They give the misinterpreted explanations, just like a jiva. They compare with Jiva. But Krishna says, Avajananti mam huda manushim tanumashidam param bhava majanantu mama bhota maheshwaram. They cannot understand my nature. That's param bhavam ajanantu. They don't understand. That is the Maya. They are always in the illusion, bewildered. So that is about the Lord's position. But here, the Lord is of the complete, full and perfect knowledge. It is that is his speciality, perpetual freedom from all material contaminations. And also Prabhupada is bringing from the scriptures that in the Vedas it is said that the Lord is Vijnanam Anandam, full of bliss and knowledge. And also whoever is associating with the Lord, they are also get the similar kind of nature. And that is, although after liberation, the living entity can become one with the same quality of existence as the Lord, his very tendency to become his very tendency to become contaminated with which the Lord never has, makes the living entity different from the Lord. So here there is a tendency for the living entity to fall down, but the Lord, he is always keeping his position the same, eternal, is the absolute truth. And also Shuddham Apapaviddham. Shuddham Apapaviddham. He is never contaminated by anything, not polluted by sin. Just like the sun, he extracts the water from even the filthy places. But while keeping the sun, by just his rays, the heat and the light, he gives and sustains many living entities. At the same time, he purifies the contaminated places as well. But still, he is the pure. The sun is the pure. He is never contaminated. Like that, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, though he appears, he is completely pure. But the living entity, the minus part, tada तदा पुरुषम् आत्मानं केवलं प्रकृतेः परं निरन्तरं स्वयं ज्योतिः अनिमानम् अखण्डितं निरन्तरं स्वयं ज्योतिः. The spirit soul, though in this material body, it is also not contaminated, but its consciousness to enjoy this material nature. Because of that, that is the infected position. So the consciousness needs to be purified. And then further, Prabhupada is explaining the Lord is also all pervading like the sun, and as such, the word pratyak is used in this verse. The Lord is all pervading, so nothing is excluded from the expansions of the Lord's potency. So he is all pervading. He is within everything, and he is all covering also, without disturbed by the activities of the individual souls. He is therefore infinite, all pervading, and the living entities, that is pratyak सम्यग् अवस्थितं pratyek samyak avasthitam. He is situated in full. Okay. And whereas the living entities are infinitesimal, this is infinitesimal, and the Lord is unlimited. Lord is unlimited. This is insignificant. Okay, so that is the capacity, and then further Prabhupada is explaining about the source of everyone's opulence is the Lord. Even Brahma collected all the ingredients for his sacrifices to please the Lord from the ingredients that lotus flower itself, from the bodily limbs of the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu only. So in fact, all the living entities' bodies are also made up of those elements. We are part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Though still he is complete. The lotus flower, it has emanated from the navel of the Lord. So, and then the Lord's opulences, wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Certainly, he is the supreme person. He is full in all the six opulences. And whereas the living entity, he is, but that is from his opulence perspective, and also about the Nirgunaha. So here we have already discussed the statement Ittam Bhota Guno Harihi. His transcendental qualities are so attractive that even liberated souls or Atma Ramas are also attracted by them. Atma Ramas. This is the Prashanta Indriya Asayaha. Parisham Shuddha Asayaha. This is Parisham Shuddha Asayaha. One, he will also come in contact with that desire for the living entities. So many devotees, why they come to Krishna, they also wanted to be free from the Parisham Shuddhasaya, free from all kinds of nescience. Purushasya Anjasabhyeti Srutamatra Gunam Himam. Just by hearing the qualities of the Supreme Lord, they will also attracted. Srutamatra Gunam Himam. And that is all his energies. And then Lord has got so many energies. Parasa Shaktir Vividaiva Shurite Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. So, and because and also Prabhupada says, his specific spiritual form which can never be experienced by the material senses. Nabhavet Grahimindriyehi. And he can only be seen only when the senses are purified by the devotional service. Yam eva isha vrunite tena labhyaha. And when the senses are purified, he is attained. So no one can be compared to the Lord, as the Vedas declare. Ekam eva dvitiyam Brahma, dvaitad bhayam bhavati. The Lord has no competitor and he has nothing to fear from any other being. He is tasmin prashanta purushe gata vigrahevam. He is completely all the time peaceful. So there is no rival. So no one is equal to him, although he is the root of the all other beings. Otherwise, there would have been no necessity for the statement in the previous verse that no one can know him 100% as he is. Nayam vidanti tatvena. By practical knowledge, no one can understand the Lord because his glories and opulences is always keep on expanding. And only prashantas, who are the prashantatmas, purified senses, they can understand to a greater extent. And they have no demands for their lives, but obedient servants of the Lord. They serve only the Lord, not for their senses. But whereas so many philosophers, mystics, or karmis, they work for their own sense enjoyment. They wanted to prove themselves as the scholars. They wanted to prove themselves as they are the siddhis, and they want to prove that they are materially opulent. So somewhere or other, everyone are affected by the sense gratification. So in that platform, they cannot understand the Lord because, and also here, on the contrary, by unnecessary dry speculative arguments, the whole matter becomes distorted, and thus Lord moves still further away from our understanding. So one cannot use his intelligence or his opulences or the siddhic or mystic powers or mental speculations to understand the Lord. So Lord needs to be accepted as He is, like previously. Brahma yasya karmani gayanti smadadayaha nayam vindati tatvena tasmai bhagavate namaha. We cannot understand the Lord in full, so we just simply offer our obeisances to Him. That Brahma, He Himself is saying, and what to speak of others. And his ultimate form as Govinda because only the Atma Ramas or the complete sinless persons can accept pure devotional service of the Lord. So from this is one is purified from the sinful activities. Yesham twanta Yesham twanta gatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dhandva moha nirmukta bhajente mam dhruvrataha. Once they are completely freed from the papam, gatam papam, once the papa sinful activities are now finished, Jananam Punyakarmanam and purified by the Punyakarmanam, pious activities, and Ted Bandha Moha Nirmukta, such kind of people are freed from the duality of this material world. Then Bhajante Mam Drudavrataha, they take to the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by Drudavrataha, strong determination. So likewise, Prabhupada is explaining here, and Brahma is saying to Narada Muni, Vishuddham kevalam jnanam pratyak samyak avasthitam satyam purnam anadhyantam nirgunam nityam advayam ऋषे विदन्ति मुनयः प्रशान्त आत्मेन्द्रियासयाः यदा तद्येव असत्तर्कैः तिरोधीयेत Viplutam. If he is using his intelligence, his siddhis, his mystics, or his opulent to understand the Lord, immediately the Lord disappears from the sight of a person, whoever thinks like that. One has to accept Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. He is the Shabda Brahma. Understand from the scriptures and from the authority, disciplic succession. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly move into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. It is long purport, but today it is letter. So this is letter to manager. Okay, letter to Revati Nandana, March 25th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any other devotees to read the letter, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. My dear Revati Nandana, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your nice letter dated 18th March 1970, along with a check for my book fund paid by blessed Roy Richard. I am enclosing one letter to him herewith, which please hand over to him. From the description of your letter, it is to be understood that things are going very nicely in your center. Our line of action is very simple, and if you stick to the principles, then success is sure. Regarding your question about the various demonic species of life, the Lord's condemnation, although appearing to be very harsh, is not so. The Lord being absolute, his condemnation is as good as his blessings. Whenever the Lord or any one of his pure devotees condemns somebody, it is to be taken as blessing. You know that the great sage Narada condemned the sons of Kuvera to become trees, but as a result of this, they were able to see Lord Krishna, which is very difficult even for the great mystic yogis. You have been a little bit uh, perturbed that the demons are eternally condemned, and I thank you very much that you have been compassionate with the demons. This is the sign of Vaishnavism. The Lord may condemn the demons, but because the Vaishnavas are there, there is ample chance for the demons to become blessed by the devotee of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord are so powerful that each and every one of them has the power of delivering many demons, even condemned by the Lord. The preaching work of Krishna consciousness movement is specifically meant for delivering the demons. Therefore, if you remain faithful to the Lord, you shall be able to deliver many such demons. So there is no cause of being disappointed because of the demons being condemned by the Lord. It is the duty of the devotee to deliver them. And the Lord is so powerful that through his pure devotee anyone can be delivered. Never mind how he is fallen or condemned. I think the answer of your question is now clear and you can do the needful. I have I have gone through the newspaper articles sent by you and they are very important. Continue to work like this in cooperation with Dinanath Prabhu, who is very good devotee. Prabhavati's husband, Harir Nama, is here in Los Angeles now. Please convey my blessings to all the Prabhus there working under your good direction. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, Usi Bhaktivedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Can you take your points, Mataji, from this letter?
So the Prabhu is asking Prabhupada, so he is upset about the demons and then the cursing about the demons. So Prabhupada is explaining the Narada, the Narada gave them cross to Kuvera and become a tree. So that is maybe Krishna's mercy, and then we can have a mystery because they can't see the Krishna, but they able to see the Krishna by become a demon tree. So it's we are learning about Jaya and Vijaya. They will curse, but still that is the good way they will curse. So by Sanat Kumara. So here that Prabhupada said that this is like demons get also see the Krishna. So in Kali Yuga here, even though sometimes if you serve somehow uh, thinking about say this is not good or bad, but Yeah, this, yes, Prabhu. So preaching the Krishna consciousness movement, yes, that specifically meant for delivering the demons. So this is the like, yes, in Kali Yuga, this is preaching to the Krishna consciousness. We are not like a good soul or anything. So then when we come to the Krishna consciousness, we will able to see the Krishna. And yes, Prabhu, that's thing. And he's saying that you are. Yes, Prabhu, that's I think we can think of it. So this is just a very particular Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Nicely summarized. So here the Krishna consciousness movement is specifically meant for delivering the demons. If all are the good people, why the devotees will go and want to if they are all devotees. So it is a duty for it is an opportunity for the devotees to go and spread Krishna consciousness, to engage in the service of the Lord. So the Lord always gives some service to the devotees, so they relish through the service. Okay, so that is the Krishna consciousness movement. Whoever takes that one, they are very fortunate. Uh, the Lord gives liberation, but muktim dadati karikit smana bhakti yogam. He doesn't give that bhakti yogam that much easily. Okay, so that is from the Srila Prabhupada's letter. So many, and also here, quality of a devotee is compassionate towards the demons. So that is also one quality of a devotee in another angle. And Prabhupada is mentioning that if a devotee is cursing some people like Kuver and Manikriva, so in due course of time, they were able to see the Lord Krishna, which is very difficult even for the great mistakes. It's an opportunity. Okay, that is from the Prabhupada's letter. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter, and from the announcements point of view. So tomorrow evening, we haven't got the speaker yet. I have requested a few devotees, uh, waiting for the response. I'll be confirming it later on. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share or kindly update us. Okay, if there are no further updates, so we shall conclude and continue with further chapter. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटिवैष्णवेभ्यो की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण conscious day everyone.